Mark Rogers TV, the voice of college football, breaking down National Signing Day. Please check out all the videos we've got posted on Team to Team to Team, and we couldn't miss out on this one for obvious reasons. It's LSU, they're top 5 in the nation, and oh yeah, they've got a couple important games. Sorry, Oklahoma fans, I did say a couple important games coming up. We got Mike and Brett, Pot of Gold, on the line covering LSU football, so please check them out on their podcast. We want to run down this class that by 247 Sports Composite ranked 5th in the nation, number 3 in the SEC. How you guys doing tonight?
Doing great.
Doing well. Recruiting signing day is always fun. I think a little bit of the allure goes away with the early signing period. Back in the dorm days, February, we just never went to class and just watched all the commits and everything. So it's a little different, but it's still fun and exciting.
It is fun, and you've got a litany of talent right here, so obviously we can't get to everyone, but we'll start with the big stars, the impact guys, the expected impact guys, and the guys that really stand out and should be stars in the SEC.
Yeah, I mean, you can start from the top with Elias Ricks, a defensive back out of California that's been committed to us and for some time now. He really wanted to join the DBU culture. I think he had some family from Louisiana, a guy that never really wavered. And I know a lot of people were kind of upset with a couple of the decommitments yesterday and how the class kind of finished. And I know it's hard to be upset with the top 4 recruiting class. But if you look at guys that actually stuck with us for this long, like an Elias Ricks, and then some of the exciting gets, like Eric Gilbert, the 5-star tight end slash wide receiver.
Thanks for taking mine, but
slash freak out of Georgia. I mean, those are exciting gets on the top of our list right there that really kind of capitalize this class. I think there's a lot more to come too.
Yeah, I think there's just a ton of really solid guys. It always happens when guys they wait until signing day and then they pick a different school and you feel hurt and you look at it. I mean, if LSU would have flipped a guy like Eric Gilbert or Elias Ricks or Jaquelin Roy, guys like that, everyone would be going nuts about how great this class is. But instead, we already kind of knew those guys were coming in, and you look at the shiny thing that you don't have and you feel like you missed out. But I mean, Eric Gilbert is a guy that's going to come in and just play immediately. I think he's a matchup problem from the day he steps on campus. And it's just not even thought about in this class because LSU's had them for a month or two now. And I think this class is really solid. LSU likes what they're doing, and they got a couple scholarships left to play with before February.
They filled a lot of needs with very big quality players. I think a lot of people were upset about the 2 wide receiver decommits and Raheem Jarrett and Jermaine Burton. Kayshawn Boutte, was it Burton? Jermaine Burton, right? Yeah. So Kayshawn Boutte and who else we get? Coy Moore were the 2 wide receivers that stayed committed.
In-state guys.
Yeah, in-state guys. Boutte was a guy that was recruited very heavily by everybody, especially Alabama. He flirted with Bama a lot going into this process. And even through the end, but he remained committed to the Tigers. Coy Moore is a guy that I feel, and Brett and I are on the same page. This is the most underrated wide receiver in the nation. He's going to come in and immediately take the place of Justin Jefferson. I think he's a freak athlete. He's very polished. He's not raw. He's not one of those guys that's just got an amazing amount of talent that you can work with and that's going to blow up one day. He's going to come in underrated, much like Justin Jefferson did, but with very polished route running skills,
a real fluid athlete.
Yeah, excellent hands.
He's not the fastest guy, and Boutte is actually a guy who ran like
explosive,
a 20.8 200 meter. I mean, this kid is a freak out of Westgate. But yeah, Coy Moore is that type of guy who I think he's Justin Jefferson. He's not going to absolutely blow you away when you watch him, but then people just don't catch him, and he can catch everything. I really like this class, especially the receivers. Adding Gilbert in there, that's a problem.
Yeah.
Get some LSU National Signing Day talk. We've got Mike and Brett on the line from Pot of Gold. I've never heard it, but from what I hear from
it's great.
LSU football, yeah, what's wrong with me? You need to get over there and check them out because it sounds like they know what they're talking about, and that's why I brought them on here to talk LSU football. There's not a whole lot under the radar when you're bringing in 4 and 5 stars and you've got a top 4 class in the nation, but any under the radar guys, lesser thought of when it comes to the star rankings, but based on what you guys have seen and heard and read, that you think might be some sleepers?
Yeah, I mean, I think this is probably the best linebacker class LSU has ever pulled in, but it really goes into the trenches. A guy like Marcus Dumerville, and just a couple different guys like that, Jacoby and Guillory. LSU, and Ed had mentioned it after the loss to Alabama a couple years ago, that just we are not there at the line of scrimmage, and we're going to get there. And this was, I think, the biggest step we've done to just get a bunch of really good guys in there and see who can stand out and play, because they're going to need it.
Yeah, I think if we're looking at the most overlooked player, I think we mentioned him already with Coy Moore, is somebody that's going to, I think, contribute immediately. Grant, scroll back up for a second. I think if you're looking at the position group, like Brett just mentioned, the linebackers, some group here that some people have not really mentioned too much because we have a lot of star power. But if you look at Philip Webb and BJ Ujulari, these two guys right here, the fact that we were able to close on Philip Webb and the fact that we were able to steal Ujulari out of Georgia, I think that no one is talking about that. And I think that's a huge talking point for our defense. Those stand-up outside linebackers that are just huge and very valuable nowadays with the pass rush. I think it's incredible to get those two guys, especially out-of-state kids. You look at this entire class. These guys are from everywhere. It's not just locking down the state of Louisiana this season. They went completely national and pulled big-time players. One
more guy, too, Josh White, a linebacker out of Houston. You watch his film, and he plays so fast.
And Sampa. Yeah. I forgot about Sampa. He was a 5-star till he hurt his knee this year.
Yeah, there's just so many guys. I think they did a great job of recruiting. Did they miss out on a few guys? Yeah, of course, but that happens every year. I mean, Webb is another linebacker that's going to play. Ali Gay is a defensive end, a JUCO guy that they expect to play really early, and so it'll be interesting to see him. And then even you can keep going down into a tight end, Cole Taylor. Mike texted me last night. He's like, am I crazy to think that this dude is like really legit? It's like, no, he's a 6'7" tight end that's pretty athletic. Like, I think we'll figure out a way to get this dude the ball somehow.
So Josh White out of Houston, Texas, 7th rated inside linebacker, one of the guys you highlighted. And as you guys just spit out names, I can tell I'm pretty aware of these kind of things. You guys are excited about this class. It's obvious.
Yeah, and you know, the kind of before we ever started recording this, Mike and I used to sit in the dorms and just read all of these classes and go to, I don't even think it was Huddle at the time. It was probably just Rivals where you got to watch all these films. And we would just sit there and watch all these guys, and it just kind of turned into something we enjoy doing. And it's nowadays you have everything available for you to watch these kids. And it's just cool to watch. And you like start picturing the guys in the defense and, oh, can't wait for Dave Aranda to get his hands on this guy. And I think they really did. LSU's doing a good job on wide receivers. They're fitting kind of the mold that they're looking to go to, and it's kind of what Alabama did. It's like, hey, we're going to get a bunch of 6-foot wide receivers that are blazing fast and just go with it. And you can see LSU's doing the same things with wide receivers, linebackers, safeties, all that kind of stuff.
This is one of the first classes I can remember in a long time where the bottom half of it, you're not really sorting through and being like, he could probably transfer. This one might be more developmental or a project.
Les Miles days where the top was so good.
Top heavy.
Like, we just filled.
We're filling needs, and maybe they'll contribute by the time they're a junior. I don't see that in any of these guys. I mean, aside from the quarterback, so I think those are some developmental guys. Aside from those two, everyone on that list could contribute very early.
Yeah, has an ability to come in and earn a spot. There's going to be a lot of spots open. You know, a lot of the talk was LSU's returning so much this year, and that's not going to necessarily be the case coming up. So a lot of these guys are going to get opportunities.
Guys, I would love to tap you for more recruiting information and more on the Peach Bowl, but I've got to run and start a live stream on the team that Joe Burrow wasn't good enough to start for.
There you go.
That's fine.
Keep us on for that. We'll talk some trash.
I'm sure you could. That would be a whole lot of fun. That would make my job easy. I would just kick back and let you 5 or 6 just go at it. I appreciate Mike and Brett coming on from Pot of Gold. Would love to have you guys back to talk Peach Bowl.
Anytime.
Absolutely. Thanks for having us.